Hey, there he
Hey,
is.
hey, good evening, sir. How you doing?
Good, brother. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. I appreciate, taking some time out of your busy day and jumping on here. David, we'll get right into things. I'm sure many people know who you are. What is the top way, the number one way somebody can get success and not just get success, David? How can they keep it?
Great question. So, number one, they have to shift their emotions from the outcomes into enjoying the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of their potential. So, in that, a lot has to be unpacked because they have to, one, detach their happiness from an outcome. They have to put their happiness into finding the love, the light, and the lessons in everything they do, and then make that a daily practice by lowering the bar, by enjoying every day whatever tiny aspect, whatever tiny growth acceleration that they can get out of a day and have that persistency. One of the biggest failures that people have is just plain quitting. Most people, the 99% of the people I always say quit at 25% of the way there. And then of that 1%, another 99 quit at 50% of the way there. And then after that, in half about a time, you get to 100%. So you got the 1% of the 1% that enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of their potential, and learning how to do that and being patient enough to enjoy that journey is not an easy feat. It's a practice.
Yeah, absolutely. And touch on the importance of relationships and having a strong team, David.
Well, relationships are formed by asking for help, right? So for me, it's knowing a series of questions of how I could be of service, how I could provide value to other people, as well as asking them, do you know anybody that can help me? And so that is what creates my network. That network is what creates my net worth. And by being kind to my future self, being of service, and asking for help, that network then allows a flow of value. And that value can flow from that source of life lessons and love into everything I'm connected with. And that thrives because those people get more people, get more people. In fact, my lifetime mission is to empower people like you, to empower more people, to empower more people to be happy.
Yes, sir. And touch on that. You have a mission that is very strong, it's very powerful. It's a colossal mission, but I know you can achieve it. You want to inspire and just make people happy by the billions. Touch on that, David.
Yeah, I kind of do the math when I want to set a goal. So connect the dots backward. I was blessed to work with Steve Jobs when I was young, and he always said, "You got to do the math, man. You got to connect the dots backwards." And I never really understood what he said until I came up with the biggest goal or objective of my life, which is to empower over 1 billion people to be happy. And I realized, man, if I could just empower in my lifetime, right, taking time out is available as a variable, 1,000 people that I could teach to teach 1,000 people to teach 1,000 people, 1,000 times 1,000, a million times 1,000, a billion, that anyone that has patience, anyone that's willing to enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of their potential can do extraordinary things, allowing acceleration, growth, and change to occur without that expectation of anything back.
Yes, sir, absolutely. We'll get off topic here for a moment, David, and we'll get back into things. Recently, I was named an ambassador for Bodyguards Against Bullying. What is your strong message against bullying, David?
Well, I think anything that separates us, especially bullying, where we have attacking thoughts, judgments, conditions that we put on others to make ourselves inferior or superior or separate in any manner, has to be understood, number one, and then has to be adjusted through positive behavior. And so I'm, a no tolerance person when it comes to attacking thoughts or judgments. I live my life in unification and unity, trying to find how we all have strengths and weaknesses that fit perfectly together in order to create a stronger oneness. And I think this quarantine allows us to see that perspective of our existence, to appreciate our existence, and appreciate that the fact that we all are sharing this world together and there's very little differences between us. And we have to learn to appreciate the differences instead of separate them.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And I appreciate your strong message on that. We'll get back into things, David. What is like your number one thing as far as a roadblock you faced, a problem you faced, and you felt, wow, I can't get past this, and how did you persevere?
For me, it was my own self worth that led me to lose over $100 million in bankruptcy. And, through that process of knowing that I can get through anything because I'm already connected to the most powerful source of light, love, and lessons, that I am myself and I'm growing and learning, and that my own ability through number one, gratitude, Having the perspective that my past is great, my present's better, my future is brighter. Two, forgiveness, knowing that pain is a result of me not knowing lessons. That's the only thing. So financial, spiritual, emotional, physical pain is just a manifestation of my learning process. And then three, accountability, knowing that I'm accountable for everything. I have complete control of my life. And all I'm supposed to be doing is knowing, what did I do to attract this to myself? What am I supposed to learn from it in order to clear that connection to this great source of energy, light, and love, this great power that I'm always connected to? The motivation is just to remind ourselves that we're connected. The inspiration is to clear the connection.
Absolutely, sir. And touch on the importance. You do a lot of giving back. You do a lot of encouragement, motivation, inspiration to others. You're a big source on that. Touch on the importance that we inspire others. We help. We give back along our journey in life.
Yeah, I think, being kind to our future self, being a chief betterment officer, trying to better everything that we come upon, every person, place, or thing, understanding that we are here to elevate others, and that's what elevates ourselves. And so by being of service, by doing good deeds, by looking to see where we can help other people, everybody has something that they can do for someone else. And the more we create that flow, the more value that's created, the higher the vibration or frequency, which allows us to create a greater awareness, both individual and collective awareness, that allows us then to increase the tide. So when two waves come together, they don't depreciate. When two waves come together, they rise the tide. And that's what I try to inspire other people to do, is let's raise the tide between us by helping each other in unity, by being of service and of value.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And you know, most importantly, you're one of the most successful people on the road, and you're a top 100 business coach, international best-selling author, things of that nature. You've achieved so much in life, but touch on the importance of having a great character, and most importantly, being a good person over any successes.
Well, I think it stems, without that judgment of being good with your character and being a good person, comes from just knowing your values
Hmm.
and allowing yourself to be a hypocrite, right? So you have personal values, experiential values, giving and receiving values, and your values are different than mine. They'll be different when you get to my age. And it's okay that we change and grow and learn, determinative upon where we're at. So, number one, if we can just learn to take inventory of our values. Two, appreciate the fact that they're going to change and we're hypocrites, that we don't know what we don't know. And then
Right.
three, most importantly, accept other people's values and see how you can help them achieve what they want to achieve, which will allow you to achieve what you want to achieve.
Absolutely. And what is your advice to someone? Maybe they have they're procrastinating, or maybe they have a good idea, but they're having struggles to get going. What is your encouragement to them?
It might be counterintuitive, but my encouragement is to lower the bar. Right? You got 2 minutes a day is worth way more than 2 hours on a Saturday. Einstein even says nothing happens till it moves. So let me get you moving by lowering the bar. Don't try to bite off too much of uh, the apple to start. Just take a little bit of a bite. Get yourself some consistent behavior. Get into the groove, the mode. Allow your body, mind, and soul to get adjusted, to start being addicted to the habits and disciplines that you want to do instead of those that you don't want to do. Get addicted to the habits and disciplines that will create productivity, accessibility, and gratitude in your life. And you'll find that those bite-sized, days turn into giant-size gulps, and soon
Right.
to be like incredible advancements.
Yes, sir. And somebody having we're going to go a little deeper into that. Kind of tied into procrastination is focus. How can somebody really focus? They're around the wrong people. They're around toxic relationships, things like that. They're around people that are kind of dragging them down. How can they regain their focus, David?
Well, I use a 5-step procedure. One, we've already talked about, taking inventory of our values. Two, asking for help, a series of questions of how you can provide value, as well as a series of questions to ask, do you know anyone that can help me? The third step specifically deals with focus. That's to pay attention to and give intention to the things that you have planned during the day for the coincidences you want, what you don't have planned during the day, the white space or empty space in your calendar, and your sleep. And if you study, pay attention, and give intention to what you have planned, what you don't have planned in your sleep, you'll start creating the coincidences that you want in your life. You'll be determined or judged to be lucky. You also can add do it now. 100% of all the things that you do now get done.
Hmm.
People that get stuff done are accelerant. They're looked upon as greater. So get stuff done by doing it now. If you can't do it now, put it in your calendar for tomorrow. Prioritize by what's most important first, and then practice ending fear. And so those are the things that allow you to get clarity in what your values were and how aligned your actions are to your values, which will give you balance amongst those values determined upon the activity that you want. Clarity and balance brings focus. Focus brings confidence. Confidence allows you to clear the connection between you and that which inspires you, which also clears the connection between you and that which inspires others.
Absolutely. And what, you've had some great mentors and coaches and things of that nature throughout your journey. What was the greatest piece of advice a mentor ever gave you, David?
Lee Steinberg gave me the best piece of advice, the most notable sports agent in the world, the guy who still represents Mahomes and Tua. He told me, David, be kind to your future self, do good deeds.
Absolutely. And you touched on just right there of working with some amazing people. What is some tips or some secrets of people wanting to work with yourselves or the Ed Miletts or the Grant Cardones of the world or the major franchises? What can they do to get in with them?
It's being and raising awareness. So, for example, with me showing up, I do a free training every Friday, and the people that join me 11 time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, it's free. I don't sell anything beginning, during, or end. So I'm different than probably every single other person. I don't just have free books and free training and free workshops and free guides to sell you something. It's literally the only thing I ever do is to be of service and of value. And people approach me all the time to pay me, which is fine, but I don't go out there. There's no advertisements to buy into my program because it's free. So the best way to do it is get involved in whatever capacity you want with the Grant Cardones, the Ed Miletts, and myself. I give a free platform to get involved with me, to get my attention, jump onto my lives. I do one every morning at 8 a.m. on IG. I do 3 p.m. office hours to ask questions on all the other platforms as well. So you can text me at 949-298-2905. You can email me at david@dmeltzer.com. Get involved, ask for help. And me and the other guys, I know Ed much better than I do Grant. I know he takes the same philosophy I do. It's one of the best co-interviews we've ever done is me interviewing Ed and Ed interviewing me.
Right, absolutely. And can you go a little deeper with that? You gave us, kind of briefly there, some of your morning routines and your daily routines. Can you take us through what a point of view of what your day routine looks like?
Yeah, so first, everyone should have two routines.
Hmm.
One, a set routine when everything's normal, and then an adaptable routine when things are different in your life. My normal routine is wake up at 4 a.m. I meditate for 20 minutes to find the highest frequency or my baseline for the day. I then get ready in 10 minutes to go work out, minimum of an hour working out, so from 4:30 to 5:30. 5:30 to 6:30 is my personal research time, student in my calendar time, focus time. 6:30 to 7:30 is family time, breakfast, lunch, preparation for lunch for the kids, but family time. 7:30 to 8:15 is coaching calls, or now it's 8 o'clock coaching calls. I include my Instagram live at 8 o'clock, but I execute on the student calendar for the rest of the day until 4:45, and that's when I coach again from 4:45 to 5:30. I then at 5:30 have everything's off family time. 5:30 to 7:30. 7:30 to 9 is research time, what I call be more interested than interesting time. Student my calendar, write my books, do research, expand my mind. 9 o'clock until I fall asleep. My purpose, I try to fall asleep at 11, but I sometimes can't make it because I've run out of energy. And so that's my standard day. Otherwise, an adaptable schedule goes by my values, a minimum of an hour to work out, minimum of 30 minutes with my wife, 30 minutes with my 10-year-old, 2 minutes with my teenage daughters, 1 minute with my mom. And then I'm a minimum of 10 minutes to study my calendar and I execute on my calendar. Those are two variances of an adaptable routine as well as a set routine.
Absolutely. And what is something that you would say? Maybe it's something that you don't coach a lot, or maybe you're not asked a lot, but it's so important. What is that, and why is it so important?
I think radical humility is what I'm asked most about. People, I think, have the wrong idea about judgments and conditions. You talked about bullying. Other
Hmm.
people have other things that have created void shortages and obstacles in their life. I kind of subscribe to, my mentor's rule number 6, which is the Xander's family and Wayne Dyer and Deepak Chopra. Rule number 6 says, don't take yourself so seriously. Look, life is simple to me. I want everything to come through me for others. So I want to make a lot of money, to help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. And I'm not going to do anything that I can't find a way to enjoy. I'm not going to do anything that I don't learn to love. It's not that I love everything. It's that I have challenged myself to find the light, the love, and the lessons in everything. So I won't do something that I can't figure out how to enjoy or I can't figure out how to love.
Absolutely, and we'll go a little deeper into that. Say somebody comes past a problem, they come by a roadblock, whatever it may be, a setback. What is your number one thing that you do when you have that thing pop up that just says, "Hey, I want you not to be great." How do you get past it, David?
Well, for me, there are no setbacks. I've been through this journey a long time. I've learned to smile through the struggles. I've learned where the middle of miracles happen, where also the margins of millionaires happen. And so for me, when there's something that's challenging, when pain is involved in my life, physical, emotional, spiritual, or even financial pain, I know it's just a request for me to learn a lesson. And so I get super excited and motivated and accelerated in order which to figure out how I can learn the lesson, whether it's asking for help or participating in some activity that allows me to learn that lesson or pay the dummy tax. But there are no setbacks in my life. I see negative energy and challenges as setups. Things are pushing me to something better or to better the situation I'm in.
Absolutely, and that's a very powerful way of looking at it. And lastly, I'll pass things over to you. I know we're getting ready to conclude here, David. If there's anything we didn't get to touch on, or anything that you're working on in the near future, let people know, please.
Yeah, please follow me at David Meltzer, obviously, but please join my free training. I'm trying to create a collective consciousness of people that do make a lot of money, do help a lot of people, and have a lot of fun. I'm somebody that can truly be a catalyst and an inspiration for you to wake you up, get you motivated, and get you there, take you all the way there. And so I really am focused in on that Friday trainings. We record them as well. You can check them out on YouTube. David Meltzer is my name, but if you can show up 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern time onto my trainings, I won't sell you anything during, before, or after. Just simply want you to join us and create an effort and a true movement of happiness. Remember, last thing I want to talk about, happiness is a disease. Happiness is a virus. It's the most powerful virus in the world. It spreads just by witnessing it. You and I are spreading it right now. And the more people witness this that will be happy, remember, it also strengthens your immune system. So
Yes,
kill
sir.
off all those weak viruses as well. So join me 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, and be happy. Be kind to your future self, do good deeds, and spread the virus of happiness.
Yes, sir. Again, it was a prestigious honor to have you on here, David. I appreciate it so much, and may you and your family always be blessed in every endeavor. All right.
Vice versa, right back at you. Thanks for following me. I see you on a lot of my lives, so thank you,
Yes,
brother.
sir. You're welcome.
Take
Take
care.
care. Bye bye.
Join me anytime.
All right. Thank you. All right, everybody. So that was a big honor to have David Meltzer on here. I hope everyone enjoyed that. You're welcome, Zena. How's everyone doing? This is Golden. You're welcome. You're welcome. If you guys don't know who he is, you definitely need to go Google him when you finish this live. Somebody that is just, amazingly inspirational, extremely successful, and most importantly, a family man, a person who is a great person. And like he said, let's just spread the virus of happiness.
I really
Yes, sir.
enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that interview. It was awesome.
How was the questions? Good?
It was great. It was great. You
All
prepared
right.
them, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Um, what do you have for us, Timmy? We need something powerful. David sets the bar high, so you got to be able to be up there with his bar. We need something powerful, Timmy.
I don't think I can be his level, but the message I just give everyone is something I've been reading in an amazing book, Think and Grow Rich. That is, opinions are just a mere commodity. Everyone has their own flock of opinions to be wished on anyone. The moment you allow, wait, the moment you take these influential opinions at heart, when it comes to decisions, you won't succeed in any undertaking. What am I trying to say is this: people will always have things to say about you. People will always have good things and bad things to say about you. But you determine what influences your decisions. You can't keep on allowing what society thinks about you determine what you're going to do. Many people feel what someone says is what I should do. If someone abuses you, someone says you're stupid, some people take it to heart. The best thing to do is just look at them as opinions because they are just mere commodities. They should never ever influence where you're going to in life because you are destined for greater things. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
That's why.
And why is this so hard to spread the virus of happiness? Why is this so hard? I mean, it's contagious. If you just smile, it'll spread. If you just give somebody a fist pound or give somebody a handshake, a high five, if you tell them, hey, I'm proud of you or great job. Why is this so hard to do that, Timmy? And how can we get better at that?
I believe there are two viruses as well. Now, let's look at it like this. Now, positivity, let's look at it as a virus that when you touch someone, it spreads. Now, let's look at negativity as a virus that spreads through the air. Any virus that spreads through the air is always easier to get to anyone. It's always easier to spread. That is where it is. It's so much easier to spread negativity than positivity. Let me tell you one thing. If you go to a restaurant and the meal they gave you was awful, won't you tell your friends about it? But if you go to a restaurant and the meal was wonderful, you tell your friends, but not as many friends as you tell that the meal was bad. What am I trying to say? It's always easier to spread negativity than positivity. But you have to take the conscious decision to spread positivity. Start your day with positivity and end it with positivity. Negative people spread negative messages. Positive people spread positive messages. So if you want a constant input of positivity, I believe you should stay around people that have a constant input of positivity. And I'm reading the book, The Magic of Thinking Big, and I believe it's what you put in your memory that you'll be able to bring out. Sometimes the thing that kills people is that they try to put negativity in their mind and they ponder on it for a very long time, and that starts to make it part of your memory. Do you know one thing? If I say a word to you right now, you might forget it. But if I say something negative to you, you might not, because the way we have conditioned ourselves. So what we have to do is we condition ourselves and start to think positive rather than negative.
Absolutely. And how do we do that, Timmy? How can one train their mind? They can train their spirit, whatever it may be. How can they train it to essentially, even if the negativity goes in, that they could revert it to positive and or even just reject the negative. How can we do that, Timmy?
One of the best ways to battle negativity is by fighting it with positivity. The vaccine and the medicine for negativity is positivity. The first way, I believe, is by starting your day with positivity and ending it with positivity. Before you sleep, think of the things you've done greatly today. Think of how many things have happened to you. Think of the things you've achieved. And when you wake up, do the same thing. And what you say to yourself the night before and the morning you wake up will hugely determine how your day will be. Because there's one thing I read in what book is this? I can't remember this book. But no, Power of Focus by Jack Canfield. I don't know if you know him. He said, when you plan something in your mind the night before, your subconscious mind is constantly working at that thing. So when you say that I'm a stupid boy the night before, your subconscious mind will ponder on that. When you say I'm amazing, I'm great, and tomorrow is going to be a wonderful day, and you declare it, I'm telling you, tomorrow will be wonderful. You will just notice it. Then when you wake up, same thing. Do the same thing. Fill yourself with positive vibes. No matter how much negativity you might face during the day, just remember, when something negative comes at you, think of something positive. The best way to
Absolutely.
do it. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. I appreciate your strong message on that, Timmy. And, we'll kind of be borderline with negative. Somebody that is dealing with depressions, dealing with stresses, dealing with discomfort, dealing with pain, how can they get past these things, Timmy? These are things that are just so unbearing and, they can't take it any longer. It's been so enduring and the physical, the mental, the emotional, the mental toll. They're going through a war zone right now with this epidemic, Timmy. Give us something powerful.
Depression relating to this epidemic, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, with this pandemic, I'll say this. It depends. Rather than focusing on the things you can't control, you can't control what is around you. I'm telling you, where your focus goes, your energy flows. If what you're focusing on is negative, there's no how you will not be negative and depressed. So I'm telling you, many of the people depressed right now, I am not completely sure But what they were pondering on are the negative sides of things. Look at the positive sides of things. The fact you are alive is something you should be grateful for. The fact that you are able to breathe, the fact that you even have a mind to think, you should be grateful for. So what I say, for someone going through something negative, for someone going through a time of pain, think of the things that help you gain. Think of the things that you know. Think of the things that uplift you when you're going through a very hard time. See, if now, for example, I'm going through a hard time, for example, right now, I've already planned everything. I was about to have a podcast with Caleb Maddox, awesome guy. Then he called me and he said he can't do it today. Really, it really pains me a lot because I've been planning for the guy for like 2 months now. What did I do immediately? I thought of a good aspect. I could always talk to this guy next time. I could always do this next time. I'm even happy that he could even call me. Think of those positive things rather than thinking of, the guy I've been planning for 6 months, he couldn't come. If you continue thinking like that, you will be negative no matter what. You will. So I say, look for the positive in every situation and try to be productive. And I don't mind it the devil's workshop. And I don't mind it the hub for negativity. So do something with your time.
Absolutely. And what is the most important thing you took away today from David when he came into the live? What was the most important thing he touched on that you feel, and then reiterate on that and go a little deeper with it?
One thing I really enjoyed from David's interview is when he said the consistent, persistent pursuit of happiness and success. Let's look at the 3 words he said there: consistent, persistent, and pursuit. He didn't just say persistent pursuit, he said consistent. Because you have to keep on doing this thing. You can't go to the gym for 8 hours and expect to be ripped. You have to go to the gym consistently for maybe an hour and you will get the results. He said persistent. He didn't skip on that word, and I really love that. Because you have to be able to push through tough times, because tough times will certainly and definitely come. And that's a pursuit. Everything in life is something you chase. You have to chase what you want, not just stick for something. That's why,
Absolutely.
let me just touch this thing. He's very similar to what I read in the book, The Power of Focus. He said, a goal is an ongoing pursuit of a worthy objective. So I really agree with everything he said, and that really stuck with me. Consistent, persistent pursuit of happiness and success. Yes.
Yes, sir. And touch on the lion story that you have for us, the powerful one. We need to hear that.
That's my best. A lion, for everyone watching this thing, let me just tell you one thing. This message. A lion is not the strongest. I'm speaking about the lion, the king of the jungle, the almighty lion that everyone looks at. A lion is not the strongest, it's not the wisest, it's not the smartest, it's not the cunniest, it's not the white, it's nothing in this category. But I tell you, the lion is still the king of the jungle, because a lion has an attitude like to never ever settle for less. You will never ever see a lion eating grass because it knows it is king. You will never ever see that from a lion. A lion is always hungry, and that is why I love this book, Think and Grow Rich. He said the beginning of all achievement is desire. I'm telling you, you don't need to be the smartest in your class, you don't need to be the biggest in your class, you don't need to be anything. All you need to have is that hunger and that attitude for success. I always share this thing. I say gratitude with a great attitude determines your altitude. So I tell you, nothing is a guarantee but your attitude and your faith. So you have to keep on believing, keep on chasing, be like the lion. You don't need to be the smartest. All you need to strive for is being king and having an attitude of a king.
Absolutely. So you mean to tell me if a lion had an option between grass and 3 adult elephants, which one is it taking?
The elephant.
And
The
why is
funny
that?
part,
Why is that? Why wouldn't it just settle for the grass? The grass is easy. It's right there.
that is one of the things. Unsuccessful people settle for what is easy, while the successful people strive. They know they'll go through pain, but they always know the end result is gain. So a lion knows it is king, so it will never stoop so low to eat grass, no matter what. Even though, do you know some of the animals a lion kills to eat? Some are even stronger than it, some are bigger than it. But lion is king. And he keeps on pushing. The thing that kills those animals, that those animals think small. A giraffe's kick actually kill a lion. But a giraffe will never think of that because it's thinking too small and a lion is thinking too big. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely, yes, sir. And touch on, we touched on, about negativity and depression and stresses and things like that. What are some things you do to get past those roadblocks, just personally?
I know personally the way I was born is that opinions don't mean a lot to me because I know that right from, I don't know what you guys call it, maybe elementary you call it, primary school, that's what we call it. I've gone through a lot because of the way I am, very outspoken. So people will say all kind of rubbish to me and stuff like that. But those things don't enter me, man. If I had listened to people's opinions, I won't be speaking with you on Instagram. I won't. Because people tell me I'm doing rubbish. People laugh at me every time I go to school. They all know it that they mock me. But I don't listen to opinions. Personally, what I do is think big, think like a lion, and stay focused. And think of the positive things, man. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And touch on, how can we have a immense, intense focus? Like we're just insanely focused in on our goal. We're insanely focused in on our vision that we don't see any of the roadblocks. We don't see any of the negativity. How can we just focus?
The best way to remain focused is by knowing why you're doing something and the intention behind something. I ask everyone this question: what is your why? Why are you doing this thing you're doing right now? If you don't have a strong enough why, you won't be that focused. So determine a concrete why. Why am I doing it? See, when you lack motivation, what pushes you? Your why. When you lack inspiration, what inspires you? Your why. Some people, they are at the lowest point, but they remember why I'm doing this. I'm doing this to feed my family. I'm doing this to motivate people. You will keep on going no matter what. When
Absolutely.
everyone is insulting you, just remember, why am I doing this thing?
Absolutely. What is the most important thing you've learned so far throughout your journey?
The most important thing I've learned, that faith, as little as a mustard seed, can move mountains. That's one thing I've learned a lot. Just believing in something. At my lowest point, I believe. At my highest point, I believe. And don't always forget where you're coming from. The time you start to forget something, God will always put you down and sit you down. I've noticed, I know that thing for a fact.
Absolutely. Why is it important in life that we remain humble even during our successes and during our highs? Why is that so important to me?
Pride comes before a fall. Pride doesn't show us how rich you are. It shows us how insecure you are actually. Because the funny part about pride is because people just trying to show people, they're just trying to see that I've made it. Don't ever allow someone's pride put you down. Never. Remain humble, stick to your hustle. One thing I've learned, don't make noise. Your success will make the noise for you. So just stay put. That's it.
Absolutely. And what it was, you've learned a lot from coaches, mentors, myself and David and numerous others. What was the greatest thing you've learned? What as far as a piece of advice or a quote that stuck with you? What was that?
The number one quote that stuck with me every single day is from this book, Think and Grow Rich. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And the second quote I've learned is that achievement is the beginning of all achievement is desire. So remain hungry. And the next quote, that quote, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So,
And I want to, like, sorry to interrupt you. I want everyone to look at that quote very well. Break it down. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. He didn't just say whatever the mind can conceive, it can achieve. No, he said whatever the mind can conceive and believe. So the first step in everything is to believe in what you're doing. Many people think they will get the results, but they don't believe. No one will ever believe in you until you believe in yourself. Belief drives a lot of things. The more you believe in something, the more you receive from something. Casey Adams in the year. maybe you should get him on Casey Adams, my boss. So
All right.
like I always
Yes, sir. Yes, if you would like to join in, Casey, please send me an invite or I'll request you right now.
sure.
I'll add you back in. Stick around. All right. Let's try to get Casey in here. I'm sending you an invite, Casey. I appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate everyone sticking around, and we're giving a lot of insight, a lot of motivation on this. We're seeing if Casey Adams will join us. If not, we'll get Taj Tech back in here. Casey may be busy, may be tied up, but we're trying to get him in here. All right, it's timed out. So, Casey, if you see us, we're trying to get you in here. Let's see. Let's get Taj Tech back in here.
Hello.
All right.
Casey was
So,
busy. He's been
y-
doing amazing things. He got Rick Ross on his podcast. Big names, man. He's amazing.
yes, sir. We'll switch things over. We'll kind of do a little bit of swapping of the chairs per se. Usually I ask you a lot of motivation. I ask you a lot of insight. I ask you a lot of things on faith and just different aspects of life. We'll put you as the host and I'll be the guest. Feel free to ask me some things and I'll elaborate. I'll go into in depth. Presume as you would like.
Okay. How important do you feel the mind is in
The
every
mi-
man's success?
the mind.
Yes, sir.
The mind is everything. It's sometimes and sometimes it's not the voices that are outside. It's sometimes the voice that's within your head. It's the doubt. It's the negativity that you feed yourself. It's the confidence that you're lacking, or whatever it may be. Sometimes we always think it's the haters and the naysayers and the people that want to see your dream be dormant in life. But sometimes, most importantly, it's yourself. You're allowing that to come in. You're allowing that opinion to be your reality when you allow it in, and you're soaking it up. So you have to know what to pick and choose. If it's not a coach, a mentor, somebody successful, you really have no there's no validation with what they're saying in the context of what they're saying. And that most importantly, your mind is so powerful, your mind is so important. And you touched on not just get through schooling, but constantly, even after your schooling, gain wisdom, gain knowledge, gain that insight, gain that expertise. And understand that, because you'll go as far as your mind allows you. If you're a person that has self
Yeah.
doubt and you don't have that confidence, and you're not learning, and you're not
Yes,
helping
sir.
others along your journey, and you're not focused. And think about how many senses just come from the mind alone. Knowledge, wisdom, focus, vision, so many things just come from the mind. And that controls your stresses, your depressions, your so many key increment things. And you just you have to have strength in your mind. And I look at things in life, Timmy, as strength, no weaknesses. I don't see weaknesses. I only look at strength. I only look at the other things are non-existent. I don't see them. I really don't even know what they are. So
Yes,
you have to train yourself to, like you said, to be the lion in the jungle or be the shark in the ocean. You have to just be powerful and constantly be in that state of evolvement, constantly growing every day. Have that obsession, where people just kind of look at you and say, "Wow, like Timmy's crazy. He's every day he's on these lives and he's doing these podcasts and he's learning, and we're going to take this man up to the doctors because he just wants to keep learning, like 24/7. He don't even go to sleep. He'll crash when he goes to sleep, but he doesn't lay in the bed and say, all right, it's time for me to go to sleep. He has that obsession, that burning desire, the burning passions. And your mental state is so important. You could either be at a war or you could be prosperous in your mind. So it's so important. Mental health is so important. And just your state of involvement in your mind.
wow. That, I can't say anything but awesome. I believe everything is the mind, man. Controls everything. The powerhouse of the body. That and the heart. Those two things. Powerhouse. Yes, sir. So
Yes,
the
sir.
next question I have for you is this. Behind all these things you've achieved, behind every man's glory, there is always a story. So tell us where you're coming from. What got you into this?
So, what got me into the security field I started at 17, so I've been at it now for just under a decade. Uh, it was my passion, my purpose, and calling in life. I was blessed at a young age to really discover that so young and so quickly. And most importantly, over keeping people safe or protecting a property, I learned that you could really make a difference in people's lives. You could be that positive influence. You could be that positive role model, that genuine person that they so desperately need. You could do more than keep a place protected or a person protected. You could you know, get, protect their state of mind. You can protect, you could earn that trust, that is so hard to gain nowadays. And, you have to have a critical soft skill in my field. And that really what separates people from getting in my field and really excelling at it. Uh, no worries there, Taj Tech. So you gotta have those things. And like David said, you got to be a great person. You have to have faith. You have to be a family oriented person. If you really want to excel in life. And that's really what separates that bar from average to great. So absolutely. Let's see if anyone else wants to join in here. Anyone else want to join in on the live? Just let me know. We'll try to get Prof in here. Emmanuel, I'm sending you a request. I appreciate everyone tuning in and checking things out. Hopefully everyone is blessed and well and healthy and happy. Let's see if we can get Emmanuel in here. If not, we'll get Timmy back in.
Hey, Baba.
Yes,
Oh,
sir. How's it
everyone
going?
was just dropping knowledge
Yes,
on
sir.
the platform. It was so broad.
Yes, sir. And we'll turn things over to you. You'll be the host. I'll be the guest. Well, usually I'm
Okay.
asking you questions, so you can ask me a few things, and then I'll ask you some as well later on in
Okay.
the. Thank you.
So
So
would you begin?
yes, sir.
So the first,
Uh
I asked you this on the podcast. What drove you to your path of the security guard?
say it one more time.
What drove you to your path of security guard?
I was just touching on that. So, basically, I had my first experience young. I was 17. That's pretty young for most people to get started in the security field, in the security sector. So right away, I was blessed. I discovered it was my passion, my purpose, and true divine
Yeah.
calling in life. My first experience was at the Dew Tour. It's like a major BMX and concert venue on the beach in Ocean City, Maryland, and just fell in love with it. I mean, I said, wow, like I knew right away. It was like there's nothing that could ever top this, and I just wanted to continue to do that and continue to be great in that craft. Uh, and just like we touched on, you have to have that obsession for greatness.
Yes, the drive.
You either want to be average or you want to be great. There's no in between. You either want it or you don't. You either want to be successful or you don't.
Yes.
You have to, like Timmy said, when you go to sleep at night, you have to pray the next morning, God,
Yeah.
please wake me up. God, please allow me to be great. Whatever it is, you have to give thanks. You have to stay humble, and stay in the state of gratitude, and just always be grounded in life. It doesn't matter if you're at the top of the mountain or at the bottom. That really, that no one would be able to tell the difference other than your press releases or the workings you're doing. That when they see you in public and they see you online, that they want to be able to tell that wow, this person has this net worth, or this person has had this person as a client, or whatever it may be. They shouldn't be able to tell that. You should always walk grounded. We're all children of God. We are all human. We don't have no right to judge anyone. We don't have no right to bear judgment, to speak down on somebody. The only time you should look down on somebody in life, Emmanuel, is if you're helping somebody up, if you're lending
Yes.
them a hand. Yes, sir. So that's how I got started, and I just stuck with it. And then my first bodyguard experience was at 19. That was with Vinny from Jersey Shore, the hit show on MTV, Jersey Shore. And I would bodyguard him every summer during his vacations and things like that, look after him and his entourage. And then eventually I moved to New York at about 19, and I met Swift from Love and Hip Hop. And just right away, I mean, we had we connected, God willing and God able, as he always is. He just said right away, I want you to be, head of the security here and at the music studio and oversee the operations. And I want you to, be around me. And, he was on Love and Hip Hop, and he had produced for Cardi B and produced for a lot of well-known people, Flavor Flav and Safari, Spice, who's a reggae legend, and, so on. He's produced for a lot of people and had songs with a lot of people. So that was definitely a blessing. That was, most importantly, that was a sign from God. We have to pay attention to those signs. If you meet somebody great and they recognize your greatness, and they speak life into your dream and life into your goals, and say, hey, they want to give you opportunity. You have to be ready for those opportunities, Emmanuel,
Yes,
because
yes, yes.
if you have to stay ready so you don't have to get ready, because what if he offered me that opportunity and I wasn't ready? You may not be talking to me right now as somebody that is
Yeah,
as excelling as I've been in my field, in my craft, and most importantly, to stay humble and get back along your journey, because when you do that and you plant seeds, you're allowing the betterment of our future, the betterment of our future generations, and you're putting yourself in an alignment to walk in an abundant amount of blessings in life when you do that, Emmanuel.
now, before I leave, I could I share one quick message. It's about pressure. Sometimes you may be put under pressure for your best to come out. Like, let's give the story of Cole. I say this every time when I come on, so that more people could hear this. When Cole's under pressure, that when things shines out like diamond. So that time you're under pressure, that might be when your glory and your shine comes out. The next thing is on change. People say the eagle, people talk about the eagle, people talk about this and that. But do you know why the eagle is the bird that soars the highest? It's because of the ability to change. This is the time to go through that process. Start cutting off those friends that cannot benefit you. Start cutting off those people that are negative in your life. Because the easiest way to catch a virus is someone that has the virus. And the easiest way to collect positivity with someone that has the positivity. So every day and every time, be surround yourself with positive people who benefit your mind and benefit your soul. That's what I'm saying
Absolutely.
for everyone.
And I'll kind of go into that a little deeper. You talk about pressure, and you talk about discomfort, things like that. I'll say it like this, Emmanuel. Think about it in life. If we didn't take those losses, if we didn't have those setbacks, if we didn't have those times where maybe we felt we were buried, or whatever it may be, in problems or trouble, or we wouldn't realize how good it is to win. We
Yes.
if we won all the time in life, think about how cocky and arrogant and ignorant we would be. And if we
Yeah.
just constantly won and won and won, there would be no challenges. There would be no that sheer drive that we would have to have. You have to be prepared. And even when you're praying for the rain in life, it's going to come with some mud. You have to be
Yeah.
prepared. When you say, God, give me the millions of dollars, and he gives you the millions of dollars, and it comes with toxic friendships, and it comes with people stealing from you. You prayed for that blessing, but you didn't have enough sense. You were so caught up in whether the greed, or you were so caught up in the blessing, the immediate blessing. You didn't understand it's going to come with maybe some consequence, or maybe some setbacks with it. That's everything in life. So you have to be understanding of that. And like you said, pressure builds diamonds. So
Yes.
just understand that if you're going through a situation, you're feeling some pain, some pressure, some discomfort, think in your mind, hey, that's good, because I know after I get through this, it's another level in life that, when you're going through those tough times, that just means you're about to level up. So,
Yes.
like Meek Mill says, it's levels to life. It's levels to your situation, your business, whatever it may be. And, you just have to be appreciative of those times. And you might say, well, wow, why, Bubba? Why should I be appreciative of a setback? And because I'll tell you why. That setback is allowing for your comeback. If you didn't have setbacks in life,
Yes.
you wouldn't have a comeback.
Yeah.
That if you didn't have that breakdown, you wouldn't have your breakthrough. So you have to be appreciative of those moments and really cherish them, and learn from them, and invite God in, and don't just be asking of, hey, get me the escape route. I want the emergency eject button. Get me to the future. No,
Yes.
invite him in. Allow him to guide you. Allow him to lead, guide, and protect you. Your mind, your heart, your spirit, and you will prevail. You will get past those times, and no one else in life can judge effort. So if you're feeling pressured, I can't call Emmanuel and say, hey, how is my effort looking? I can't call him at halftime or in the middle of the game and say, how is my effort looking? Because he could tell me, and maybe he's being dishonest with me, or maybe he's telling me what I need to hear. But at the end of the day, no one can judge effort. It's between you and you. That if you're pissed off for greatness, if you have that burning desire in you that you want to be great, that come no hell or high water, you wouldn't settle for less. So we all have greatness within us. We just have to realize that and we have to be obsessed. We have to be obsessed with the dream. You have to hold on to it, protect it, and never let it go. Whatever your dream, your vision is in life, as we touched on, there's going to
Yes.
be those outside sources. There's going to be the haters, the naysayers, the people that want to see your dream be dormant. They're going to, say toxic things about you. They're going to drag your name through the dirt. They're going to drag your name in the mud. They're going to just do outlandish, ludicrous things that you probably couldn't have even imagined. But just be prepared for it. And when it
Yeah.
happens, just smile and spread. Kill them with kindness. They want you to come down to their level. They want to pull you down in life. They
Yeah.
want that to happen. And the only way you lose that battle is if you give in to it and you put hate onto that situation, or you add negative on it, because only going to bring you down more with more negativity. So you have to be positive. You have to say, you know what? Hey, if I don't have haters, I must not be doing something right. So
Yes.
you're only going to get talked about if you're doing something that's creating waves in life. And think about in life, Timmy. I'm going to give you something powerful here. And is it all right if I go pretty deep here?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you something that's probably the most powerful thing you might have ever heard, and I've given you a lot of
Yeah.
valuable knowledge. I've given you some really where there's not an adjective to describe how powerful what I'm going to give you is. That think about in life, okay? Think about somebody in the hospital room. The pulse is going to do.
Yes.
It's going up and down, right? What happens when a pulse is stagnant and you're boop, boop?
The
That means
person is about
they're
to
not
die.
yeah,
Yep.
they could be on their deathbed, or that maybe they don't have life anymore. So think about it. The pulse, the monitor, when it's going up and down, you're prosperous, you have life. That just means you're living. So there's going to be ups and downs, and just be prepared for it. That's all I
Yes.
can say. And just hope for the best, but be prepared for the worst in life. And just understand, when it's stagnant, it just means you're not doing nothing. So when you have those ups and downs, you have those setbacks, the putbacks, and just understand that life is like a slingshot. Sometimes you get pulled back, and then boom, you get released, and
Yes.
you get to the top. So you just have to be conscious of that and understanding of that, and look at things like always the mature mindset, and always be 10 steps ahead in life. Like
Yes.
be like, if that roadblock comes, I already know how to go around it. And if I'm going around it, I have another option. I can go through it. And if I can't go through it, I can go over it. It's just, you have to constantly be one step ahead. You have to be smart. You have to be sharp. You have to be
Yes.
militant. You have to be proactive, vigilant, whatever it may be. You have to have those attributes. And
Yes.
that's what I can say on that.
Before I leave, Torch second David Meltzer said it all. But the thing I want to speak on is knowledge. They say knowledge is potential energy. It is when it's first pulled back. That's when you can release that knowledge. So don't just acquire knowledge because everyone's acquiring knowledge. Acquire knowledge, use it in your life. That's the problem. And everyone just acquires knowledge because everyone's acquiring knowledge. Use it and actually act on that knowledge. They say that haters are a sign they are doing something good. So remember, the obstacle you're facing right now, that might not be because there are people around you who are trying to pull you down. So use those people as a lift and a push to push yourself. And remember, stay blessed, stay positive, and keep on moving. And
Abs-
yeah,
yes,
that's
sir.
all.
What was the most important thing you learned from today?
Hmm.
Throughout this live. We've given a lot of knowledge. We've given a lot of
Yes.
motivation. We give a lot of inspiration. We've got a lot of entrepreneurial skills. Whatever it may be. What was the most important thing you learned?
When David Meltzer talked about his plan, they say he who doesn't plan plans to fail. So every day, try to have a plan or a strategy on how to combat a problem and how to combat something. That's all. That's all for everyone.
Absolutely. I appreciate your time, and
Yeah.
let everyone know where they can keep in touch with you at, where they can follow you.
You could check me at prof.et. I'm a 12 years old inspirational and movement pusher. You could also check me at Torch Sec. He is my best friend too, because I tried to surround myself with people who could benefit me. So remember, stay blessed, stay positive, and keep on moving. Because obstacles are just challenges waiting to be conquered. So go and get the obstacle you're facing and go and challenge it. So stay blessed. Yeah,
Absolutely.
bye.
You too. God bless.
Yeah.
Project Lionheart. If you are in here, send me an invite. We'll talk. It says very interesting, Bubba. I also own a security company. Would love to talk and collaborate. I'm all for it. I'm all for mentorship. I'm all for coaching. Giving back along my journey, helping others in my field, and just all throughout life. It could be youth. It could be people older than me. Whatever it may be, we all can be the encouraging, helping person in life. So let's try to get Project Lionheart in here. I am sending you a request right now, and we'll talk. We'll get some we'll drop some knowledge to each other. If he doesn't join, if they don't join, we'll try to get somebody else into the live. I appreciate everyone tuning in. This live was very powerful, very insightful, very inspiring, very touching. Anybody coming across this or that has already came across it or that will come across it, I'm sure they're going to take a lot of things away from this that they can really put to good use and make the most of. How's it going?
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. What's the word for today? Anything good? How you doing?
I'm okay. Just trying to manage out here. I'm kind of going through it because I haven't got a haircut in like 3 weeks, so I'm not gonna go up here. My hairline's pretty back,
Yes, sir.
so
No
we're
problem.
not gonna go up there.
Right.
Um, I
Tell us a
want
little bit about yourself and what you do.
currently reside in the Bronx. Job wise, I've done security for like 10 years. I've done fast food. I worked in a boxing gym, was a personal trainer for a little while. I had a lot of jobs, a lot of things. Currently now, my goal and dream, I'm trying to become a writer. Second would be acting, writing first. And that's just mainly what I'm trying to work on now with this free time that we have during this quarantine.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And what is it that drives you to really want to get into that field?
Change, change. Because I have a voice, I want to be heard, and I feel like if you can actually watch, something that I created that's my own, you see life a little differently. Because the thing is, with most people, we don't want to help each other out.
Hmm.
And is a fact. There's not anyone who will really just step up and really do what it takes because most people, I feel like, honestly, are selfish. I do feel like that, and it sucks. But I want to get in like a better space on a higher platform, not just for myself, but for the people around me. 'Cause I feel like if I get there, then I'm not going to turn you away just because you may be homeless. You
Right.
may not
Right.
know how to read. It could be addiction, anything like that. The thing is, everyone needs help at some
Absolutely.
point. So if I can do that, then I feel like, I'm doing it.
Absolutely, and I'll touch on two things there that I took away from what you said. You touched on somebody falling to maybe hard times or they could be less fortunate in life. We're all going to go through struggles. We're all going to have setbacks, roadblocks, whatever it may be. In life, even if somebody is homeless, that if they aren't hopeless, that things can still come to fruition. That there is still a way to get past what they're going through, and just hang on to hope and faith in life. And if we don't lose that, and we have constantly that faith and that burning desire in us to get closer in our faith and our religions, whatever it may be, spirituality, whatever God we pray to, that we just have to every day just say, how can we be a better person? How can we get strong in our faith? And then you also touched on change. And you said, I asked you, I said, hey, why do you want to get into that? And I could tell you really truly like that, and you really are serious about it because somebody that answers it, they may have given a different that they may have given some different context there. You touched on change and why change is so important when somebody is asked why they love it or why they want to get into it. It's something I pray on is that I ask God to not make me the best bodyguard, not make me the best in my field. I say make me the person that is making the biggest difference, that can help others, can inspire others, can coach, can mentor, whatever it may be, can be somebody that somebody looks up to. It could be the father figure, it could be like a big brother, whatever it may be. And when you pray on that, and when you're making the biggest difference, if you think about it, if you're making the person that's making the biggest change, so say for example,